Hey there, how's it going? My name is Jonathan, and today I'm going to show you how to find influencers that will represent your brand and will be able to drive more sales to whatever you're selling, be it e-commerce or other products, etc. etc. Okay, so basically I'm just going to pull up my text document real quick, and I'm going to show you they are basically you've already decided that you want to go into influencer marketing, right? You want to drive your traffic from influencers. So you need to contact them, you need to pay them, you need to liaise with them, build meaningful long-term relationships with them such that they are willing to represent your brand as well as to give you exposure as a brand. Alright, so if you are starting your online business and you're unsure of how to find and basically verify the correct influencers to represent your brand because some of them may be scammy, this is the tutorial for you. You need to basically find these influencers and you need to ensure that their reach and basically the effective ROI, the return on investment of what you put into them is coming back. Otherwise, there's no point sponsoring these people. There is no point basically doing influencer marketing because the aim of the game is to drive more sales with your marketing efforts, and this would be one of them. So the benefits of influencer marketing is basically there is more organic reach and there is more word of mouth spreading, because when people see their idols and their influencers repping your brand, then basically they'll be more inclined to buy it as well because they trust the person and not necessarily the company or the brand that you're promoting, right? Okay, so they're basically general versus niche influencers. So niche influencers are quite rare considering the big ones, right? For example, if you were just running a store on maybe selling camping, for example, there's definitely the outdoor niche, but a lot of influencers nowadays are very multidisciplinary, and in the sense that even if I'm a camping, I post photos on camping, for example, as an influencer, they may go into other things such as fashion. So there's already a broad reach of audience, and you may not be talking to your brand, may not be advertising to that specific type of audience, but there's definitely overlap and an expansion of the reach that your audience has. All right. So you need to think about what do the influencers gain out of your proposition, and by wrapping your brand, right, be it credible or small, big, long term or short term, they need to gain something out of the proposal as well, and it is something that you need to figure out. Alright, the next thing that you have to figure out is their engagement rate. So no matter how big the influencer nowadays, because of the Instagram algorithm, right, engaging content is basically the best thing that has happened to Instagram, because it filters out people who generally, even though their followers are big, even if they have low engagement rates, there's absolutely zero purpose in engaging them and sponsoring them for their posts, because the amount of reach that your page is having is basically how much you're paying for in terms of advertising, how many people you can actually reach to, how many likes, how many people and eyeballs actually see your product, right? So you need to really concern yourself with engagement rate. And don't think of it from the standpoint of, for example, this person has 600,000 followers. That could be a good thing, right? If they have 600,000 followers but a 2% engagement rate, that is nothing compared to like someone who has 300,000 followers and a 12% engagement rate. So you just need to consider that as well. Alright, the last thing before we get into it would be understanding the type of influencer sponsorships that you can go into. So generally these are the three. Number one would be gifting / barter trade. They call it barter trade. So you're basically giving your influencer a product in exchange for a tag. So you can tag them in something. They can tag like your brand, and then they will showcase your product while they are using it, such that you're aligning your brand to them, right? The second one would be having a referral program. So you have them signed up as a referral, and then basically they put on your website referrals URL, and basically people and their followers can click on that link and direct them to your website's URL. The last one would be, I guess, the most expensive one as well, would be paying influencers for sponsored posts. So it's an official thing where if you are, as a brand, sponsoring influencer for a product, then basically the influencers oblige through Instagram's terms of service to basically mention that brand in sponsored by blah blah blah. Alright, so this would be the general way of seeing things and influencer marketing sphere in general. So nowadays is being a bit more saturated, and because the algorithm is squeezing people out of their engagement rate, there's not as many likes people are experiencing as before. So you need to just take note of this. So how do you find these influencers, right? You basically use the internet, and so I'm gonna use basically the fitness niche today. I'm not very familiar with the fitness niche, but there's a lot of as you can see, I googled here just now. So basically just search Google fitness influencers. All right, so what you want to do is basically just gather a list of prominent people that you would like, and then you just search them up on Instagram. Okay, so a lot of people have already written a lot of articles on who are the top influencers, right? So from the top influencers, what you want to do is drill down to I guess micro influencers as well as medium-sized influencers. So basically, because if you're starting out your brand, you don't have a lot of marketing budget to pay these people, people who have millions and millions of followers, but you can pay people who want to be at this stage, and it'll be definitely a bit cheaper. All right, so I'm just going to take one, for example, Kayla_it_signs. Okay, so let me just search her on Instagram. Kayla_. Okay, so if in general, if you already found the big page, right, what you can do is basically drill down and find the smaller influencers. So you just come down here and you just scroll, and basically you just find people. Okay, so let's take someone who is smaller. So she basically has 10 million people. Let's drill down into something smaller. Not sure who this is. Okay, 400,000 followers. All right, let me just drill down even more. Keep it cleaner. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, 100,000 followers. I'm guessing she does fitness and I guess a bit just the general type of influencer. Who is this? Elsie Knowles. All right, we're back to 800,000. So I'm just gonna go back. Okay, keep it cleaner. And Georgie Stevenson, 200,000 followers. Okay, so I'm just gonna select and nominate a few of these people, and I'm just gonna put them down into my handy text edit document. So I'm just taking note of these people such that I'm able to contact them in the future. All right, so let me just check out even more. Backlomas. Okay. Shit. Okay, Backlomas. So I'm just gonna take all of their Instagram tags, and I'm just gonna put them into my Word document folder. Okay, so I'm just going to continue my search, and this is basically drilling down to smaller and smaller influencers. Okay, Nourish_naturally. I'm going to take her as well. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm just going to search these 3 influencers, and to basically check and verify that they are reliable influencers that I may want to work with, I'm going to go into another tool now. But basically, you just use this method and you basically drill down from the top influencers, and so basically Instagram's algorithm will get and obtain data from other users who are generally in the same niche and generally posting about the same things as your top influencer. So basically, it's not a very diluted form of searching. You're still in the niche, so it's quite good in terms of finding new influencers and finding smaller influencers that may potentially help you in the future. Alright, so just scrolling through, you can see generally what are the engagement rates, but you want to be precise and you want to be accurate, right? So you basically go into this tool. So I will give you the description, the URL description. It's flanks.com/engagement-calculator. I'll put it in the description below. And so all of your research that you've done previously, you just take that username and then you put them into this influencer engagement calculator. This is absolutely free, so you can just go to this website and check it out. So in terms of engagement rates, you want something that is more than 3 to 4%, right? 3 to 4% is the average. So as you can see here, even though even though Georgie just now had something like 200,000 people following her, she only has like 2% engagement rate, which is not very good considering her size. It doesn't matter how many followers you have, remember. It matters how many people are actually engaged, because even though if you have a big follower count, these influencers will start charging you higher just because their follower count is bigger than someone else. But remember, everything that matters is because engagement rate, how much traffic you can actually drive to your website or your deal or your product. Alright, so Georgie Stevenson, for example, under this list, I'm just going to put an X because I don't want her. Her engagement rate is too low. The next one that I'll check is Backlomas. Alright, so Backlomas, let's see. Okay, so her engagement rate is even lower than Georgie, so I'm just going to put an X there. Alright, the last one that I'm just going to search for is Nourish_naturally. Let's see what her engagement rate is. Alright, okay, Nourish_naturally 0.9%. So although unsuccessful in our Instagram search now, generally you want to aim something of more than 4% in engagement rate. And if you found these people already, then you basically go ahead and email them, or you DM them through their Instagram page. Usually for everyone who has a Facebook business Instagram business page, you can basically email them directly, or if you want to slide into their DMs, that's not a problem. It's just that you may have a limit in terms of Instagram DMs. So basically you're just using this method to verify that these people have good engagement rate. All right. So you also can use similarly Social Blade if you don't want to use flanks.com. You can basically go into here, you can press Instagram, and then afterwards you can just key in the username right here. Okay, so the last one would be actually verifying these people are legitimate, right? Even though you have narrowed down these people who have influencer engagement, you also need to do kind of a background check, and this is where you go into hypeauditor.com. So I'm not affiliated with this site at all. I just found it, and they have a free service, so you don't even have to register. So that's a good thing, right? So you just basically key in their Instagram username, etc., and you basically have a profile of all of them. So just now I was searching up Chiara Ferragni, and she's quite big on the fashion niche. And this is basically her stats. So basically this Hype Auditor basically gives you all the information about what her ranks, what are her audience insights right here, her interests right here, as well as her follower growth. You can clearly see how many followers she has, but this doesn't matter to us. Alright, you can see her average engagement likes, and engagement rate is right here, 3%, 15 million followers. Alright, so this is all given free with Hype Auditor. Alright, so what you have to be mindful of is fake Instagram influencers. So these people are already running, they are out to get brand deals, and they will engage you, and they possibly may DM you as well as a brand, asking whether they are able to work with you. You need to be wary of that, because I've experienced these things before, and these people have low engagement rates and they have fake followers, and these are the things you just want to avoid. So even though I'm calling this person out, yeah, so basically this person DM'd me quite a while ago, asking whether they could work with our brand. So like I kind of searched using this method, and even though her engagement rate here is okay, it looks good, however a lot of her followers are fake. And the reason why I say that is because you can look at the data. So at this point, I think it was around last year, she was somewhere around here, and you can clearly see there's a very abnormal spike in the follower count. So if there's like a vertical increase, it's like horizontal, and then there are just very gradual and weird very vertical increases in terms of follower count. It's basically mean that these people are botting and buying followers, and generally you want to move away from engaging and working with influencers that basically do botting as well as buying fake influencers. All right, so you would want something where similar to Chiara, where you, as you can see here, this is very, very organic and natural growth. There's a very gradual and steep increase in the follower count. However, this person's one is very, very irregular, so it's a very straight line where it's stagnant and even going down a bit and suddenly increase, like random increases in spikes here. Obviously this one, it's clearly fake because nobody spikes up as much as that, but something like this has been organic growth, but previously they have engaged with botting. Alright, so this is basically how you filter out and find influencers for your influencer marketing initiatives. So I'll just go and wrap up once again. So what you want to do is, number one, go to Google, go and search your top influencers in your niche. Okay, so basically you do the drilling down process, right? You just find one influencer that you want, go into Instagram and basically search your influencer. After searching your influencer, you come down from the drop down menu, and basically you come down and you scroll, and you select a few of these people. You select as many as you want and get your short list and put it down in your text edit document or whatever, and basically filter these people out. Alright, so after filtering these people out and getting like an amount of typical followers that you want to target, you go into flanks.com and get your engagement calculator. Alright, your engagement calculator, and then you select people, and then you see how much your engagement rates are. Once your engagement rates are more than 4%, then you are willing and okay to work with them at that moment. Alright, afterwards you can go into Hype Auditor, and then afterwards in this audit you go and verify their follower growth. If they are generally botting, such as this person's one, they're botting, try to stay away from these people even though they may have good engagement rates. Alright, okay, so that's basically about it, and this is my tutorial on how to basically find and verify and validate your influencers that you may potentially want to work with. just keep in mind that these influencers are people at the end of the day, and it's good to establish good long-term working relationships with them. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you gained some value from this tutorial, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.